Roland-Garros being watched over by one of the world's most iconic landmarks, the Eiffel Tower. Day 11, and there's something for everyone at the second Grand Slam of the year, with legends taking to the court to entertain with their skill, artistry, and at times unorthodox practice. Spanish flags were flying high with two former champions in action. A winning start for one in the heat of the afternoon, making way for another who knows these courts better than most, stepping out for an encounter of David and Goliath proportions, with semi-final places to be won. Bienvenue, welcome to Live at Roland-Garros. We are day 11. We are hopeful that by the end of today, the end of this evening, we will have the semi-final lineup complete. But in the meantime, here for you is what's in store on tonight's show. It's a rain-interrupted day for the 10-time champion. One match to decide who's world number one. And rain hits Roland-Garros with matches to complete. If you'd like to get in touch with us, please use the hashtag RG18 on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram, and don't forget to tell people 7 p.m. local time every night. And you can watch the show on the Roland-Garros Facebook and YouTube platforms. I'm very happy to say that in the studio tonight, Nick McCarville, and we have found Camille. Camille, welcome back to the show. we tried to find you.
Yeah, I had the day off because I had a lot of things to do yesterday. So I couldn't be there, and I was really sad because I miss you guys.
We were very sad not to have you. You were busy working. You didn't have the day off.
Yeah,
you had the day off from here.
Yeah,
you were busy
but I
working.
was busy, actually.
It was lonely. We did have Kim Kleisters, which was quite fun, but we would have liked to have you here,
Yeah,
too.
I would have loved to be with Kim because I really like her. We have almost the same age, but I'm here right now.
And yesterday we got quite lucky with the weather. We thought it was going to be a washout. Today we're just starting to have a few interruptions.
Yeah, but actually it was pretty good in the afternoon. I thought it would be worse. So at least some quarterfinals for women were done, and I think we're pretty lucky in the end.
Yeah, we just about got there in the end. We do have 2 matches to complete. We're hoping they're going to be called back on court very shortly, but someone who's in a better position, they can bring us right up to speed, is Eli. Good evening, Eli.
Hi, guys. Well, right now I don't have the information. I can tell you it's raining, not as heavily as it was a few minutes ago. So it's lightened up. I can even see some sun up there. I'm standing here with the clay wall behind me. What we're going to do is we're going to try and get our hands on Wayne McEwen, one of the tournament supervisors, so we can have a more in detail information of what's coming for us. In the meantime, we might just have a little magnum here because I know Camille had a magnum before the show. So I might have one too if I have some time.
You enjoy yourself, Eli, but don't get too wet. And as soon as the tennis resumes, we'll be back outside with Eli. We should bring you right up to speed with what was happening when the umbrellas were put up and the players were taken from court. And we will start on Philippe Chatrier with the 10-time champion Rafa Nadal. It hadn't been going that smoothly, Camille, for Nadal. He was desperately trying to close out this second set to level things up, but the rain just got in the way.
Yeah, it was such a bad timing for Rafa because he's having difficulties today against Schwartzman. It's a little bit of a surprise, I believe, because he was such in a great shape. We're thinking, okay, Schwartzman is playing very good. He's a clay court player, but he cannot win. And actually, he started very good. And I think for the public, for the tennis world, it's a pretty good situation, Nick.
Yeah, and it's a frustrating situation for Rafael Nadal, who's had both wrists taped today, so a little bit of question marks around Rafa's wrist. But Schwartzman playing good tennis the first time he's won a set against Rafa on clay. He's 0-5 against him head-to-head, but he's got to walk off. Even though Rafa's serving for the second set, I think Diego Schwartzman's got to feel pretty good about himself, and this is a frustrating overall situation for Rafa.
Yeah, I think that's the key word there. A very frustrated Rafa Nadal in your picture there as he was escorted off by the ball boy, just trying to keep pace with Nadal. But it's the second time Diego Schwartzman has left court today saying that he is leading Rafa Nadal on Philippe Chatrier here at Roland-Garros. Another match was taking place on Susan Longland between 2 giants of the game, and Camille. It just didn't look like there was going to be an end in sight between these two. It's the longest first set.
Such a long set, but we could expect a tiebreaker. As you say, big servers, big forehand. So they have a very similar game, and they've known each other for ages. They have the same age. So we knew it would be a big battle, but actually it lasts a long time. And with the rain, if they have to play tomorrow, it's going to be tough for them and for the winner to play again. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a big opportunity for both Cilic and Del Potro. Cilic never been to the Final Four. Here we can see them walking off. Look at that scoreboard, 6-6, 5-5. So at least we can say it's even on Court Suzanne Longland when they do resume. But Del Potro trying to get to the semifinals here for the first time since 2009. Marin Cilic has never been to the semifinals here. And they're, two guys that hit the ball so hard. They're having a nice run here on the clay, perhaps taking on Rafael Nadal next. But the script, that part of the script, yet to be written.
Yeah, it couldn't be any closer between those two. When play resumes, we're positive that it will resume. For how long, we're not so sure. It's that kind of day when thunderstorms keep appearing, dropping lots of rain, and then disappearing, so we get the players back on court. But we'll keep you up to date and also keep an eye on the Twitter and Instagram feeds. There have, though, been matches completed. We want to run through them in the order that they were completed. And first up, it was Garbine Muguruza against Maria Sharapova. And it was a crushing defeat, Nick, of Sharapova by the 2016 champion.
Yeah, Muguruza has the nickname Mugaruthless on Twitter, and she was ruthless today. She looked in great form, dropping just 3 games against Sharapova. It was actually close the first few games, but Muguruza kept winning the big points. She was great off the ground today, and the serve, Camille, overall, Gigi and I were talking about this earlier, the serve really let Maria Sharapova down in this match.
Yeah, I believe it was a key, the serve, how they were both serving, because they're playing not the same, but close, like big servers, big strokes. And it was the one who would just do it better today. And Muguruza just played so good. Sometimes she had like a little bit of pressure in her arm, so she cannot hit that hard. And today she was okay. I have to defeat this girl. She's strong. It seems like she had to play the perfect match, and that's what she done. And Sharapova, in the other hand, couldn't play the best match so far.
And as Conchita Martinez told us when she was with us, for her, it's just the game face that guided me. She said, look, I saw it at Wimbledon last year. We know what happened there. She said, I just feel the way she is. She's yet to drop a set so far. She is just being ruthless.
Yeah, I think we were talking a lot with Arantxa Sanchez, remember, with Conchita Martinez. They knew she was ready. And what is very good for her is that she's improving a lot in a Grand Slam like the French Open with a lot of pressure. So it's going to give her a lot of confidence to be able to play this kind of game in such important moments, because she didn't play that good the past weeks. And actually, she's just improving in this tournament. So that's a very good sign for her.
Well, that was the point I was going to bring up, is that Muguruza came in here with a 3-3 record on clay coming into the French Open. She hadn't made a quarterfinal on the clay moving into this tournament. So for this to be her first quarterfinal, that was pretty dang good from her. And now she goes in the semifinals. You remember 2 years ago, she made the semifinals and then ended up winning the tournament.
She certainly did, and it's worth following such a wonderful display from Garbine Muguruza to listen to a little bit of what she had to say when she came into press following the win.
The last time we played was a very long time ago, and a lot of things happened in between that. So I felt like I was a more developed player, and very motivated out there to, it's a Grand Slam quarterfinals. So yeah, I mean, 4 years ago, my experience was different. I think I improved also as a tennis player. And yeah, things here and there. I think I did a good performance today, very serious, solid match. And yeah, I'm happy with that.
I'm sure she is. We're going to head straight back outside to join Eli, who has found someone to speak to us about the conditions that we're experiencing today. Eli.
Yep, I am with Grand Slam supervisor Wayne McEwen. Wayne, thanks a lot for giving us a few seconds of your time.
No worries.
What's going on? Tell us what's up. I know it's raining. You're going to say it's raining,
It's
so I beat
raining.
you to it.
It's raining, definitely. It's just one of those unstable days. It's one moment it's clear on the radar, and the next moment something pops up, and we just get hit. It's unfortunate for the spectators. It's very unfortunate for the players, but it's out of our control. There's not much we can do about it at the moment.
What's the forecast for the next few hours?
Well, as I said, it's unstable. We thought we had a good at least an hour from the last rain delay till we got back on court, and but this one just popped up on the radar. It hit us. Unfortunately, players are fine. They're in the locker rooms. They're talking to their team, their entourage, and it's just a waiting game to see what happens.
You're hoping to get them back on court today?
We are hoping, but again, we just got to look to see what happens on the radar. They're big matches for these guys. We don't want to bring them out and have them out there for 20 minutes and know it's going to rain again, and it's just not fair to them. It's not fair to the public. So they'll make a decision shortly, and we'll let everyone know.
Okay, we'll let everybody know. Thanks a lot, Wayne. Back to you guys.
Yeah, as soon as we get that decision, we will let you know that decision. And don't forget to follow the social media outlets of Roland-Garros to get the very latest news. We want to continue just wrapping up Muguruza's defeat of Sharapova, and we were very fortunate that following the win, we actually got a few words with Muguruza's coach, Sam Sumik.
Abigné was facing probably one of the toughest, warrior out there, and I like her mentality. She matched up her Maria fighting spirit, and I like that. Obviously, if you look who is still in the draw, everybody, made final of a Grand Slam, so everybody went through the similar experiences. So I don't know, but so far so good for us.
Absolutely. No longer in the draw is two-time champion Maria Sharapova. Here for you speaking in press.
I guess, on paper, it's a step in the right direction. I think not just, it's tough to just assess a singular tournament. I think I have to put a lot of things in perspective for the last, 4 or 5 weeks since the clay season. Coming into this part of the year, I was losing a few first-round matches, matches that I wanted to be winning, of course. But, to have had the victories that I've had, to have the results that I have, and obviously moving the step in the right direction. But today was certainly not one of those steps.
So plenty of positives from Maria Sharapova to take from the last few weeks, but it's Muguruza that goes through to these semi-finals, and I'm very happy to say that our guest this evening has braved the rain. He's made it through. It's Tournament Director of the French Open, Guy Forget. Guy, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's been such a wonderful tournament so far. The only thing we can't control is the weather.
To be honest, we've been really lucky so far, because some people tell me, oh, you're so unlucky with the weather. I say, no, I'm very lucky, because for the last 4 days, every morning when we arrived, at the weather station, some of the guys were there going, oh, it might be a hard one today. So it rained at some point, like 20 miles away from Paris, east, west, and the Roland-Garros just stayed clear. So we were very lucky, but eventually, at one point, you have to accept to lose a bit of time.
And how have things gone for you so far on the nearly 11 days that we've been here?
Well, I think the tournament's been going well, except for some of the French men and women,
yes,
because we were hoping that some of them would advance into the second week and maybe even go to the quarters or semis, but it didn't happen. And the guys and the ladies that are on the draw, have been the best so far, and we've seen some great matches.
We have.
I've seen a lot of happy faces, through the alleys of Roland-Garros, and the weather's been pretty good. We have some new courts, great atmosphere on court 18, which was a brand new show court. So overall, things are going pretty well.
Guy, I'm trying to imagine your schedule every day and how busy you must be. We all feel busy on the media side, but nothing compared to, I think, what you do. How busy you are, and also how much sleep do you actually get at night?
Well, I sleep about 5-6 hours a day, but that's enough.
Pretty
And
good.
I tell you, if you are
Yeah.
as excited as I am every day when I get into the crowd, you're a happy man.
Yeah, totally.
I have to say, something that we've noticed are these changes, because we appear once a year for 2 or 3 weeks, and it's been amazing just to walk. It feels so much more spacious this year with the changes that are taking place.
Yes, that's true. It is, and it will be in the next few years, couple of years, obviously. Had you been here, honestly, 2 months ago, you'd have been scared, because we had, all these excavators and these cables, these holes, mud everywhere, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, are we going to be ready in 2 months? And just by magic, a few weeks ago, everything turned into place. So I want to thank all the teams. Have been doing a great work in the last few months.
And isn't the plan that after the final, Chatrier will start to be pulled down piece by piece?
Oh well, about 85 to 90% of the court will be, taken down. So it'll be a kind of scary thing to witness, but hopefully 10 months later we'll be ready with a brand new court, not the roof yet, because we only have those 10 months to do it, but I hope all the workers will do a great job.
Well, thank you for being with us. I hope you can stay. We've been through our first women's quarterfinal today. We've seen Garbine Muguruza go through. And next up, Simona Halep, a two-time finalist here in Guy. She is such a popular person with the French crowd. I mean, for me, it's the first time she lost in the final. The speech she gave to the crowd was just so emotional, and it seems to have endeared her to the French public.
It's funny, because the other day on the center court, we paid tribute to Virginia Rosici, who was a winner some years ago. I don't want to say how many, and she's a wonderful girl. And we've always had in the past some really strong relationships with Romanians for some reason. A lot of them speak really good French, and they love Paris. Simona came, she gave the best she could in the finals last year. She didn't play her best match, and she was beaten by a wonderful player. So she's back again this year, going again. She's one of the probably crowd favorites. And once again, she put on a remarkable match, and she was really strong, one of the fittest girls on the court. And we hope for her she'll play her best all the way to the end.
And it's something that people are talking about in regards to Simona Halep is the mental strength of Halep and how that seems to have developed.
Yeah, I mean, she's been with Darren Cahill now for a few years. They broke up last year as a coaching pair, as a coaching player, but he has brought a lot to her game. I've also heard that she's been working with a mental coach. She's pointed to her head today saying, you've got to have that mental strength, right, to get through a player like Angelique Kerber. And she's played some of her absolute best tennis here at Roland-Garros, and she's proved that once again this year.
Yeah, for me, as you said, Guy, she's one of the best athletes in the female draw. And it's the attitude that I'm crazy about. The attitude. She's fighting. And you see that she's always trying to be better. And because in the first set, when she lost the tiebreak, she got a little bit of frustration and she lost the tiebreak. And there's two attitudes to get. Or you get negative and you lose the match. And she just tried her best in the first game to get positive and go for it. And I was really impressed because you need a lot of mental energy to do that. And then she finally, in the third set, she was just tougher physically. And Kerber played an amazing match. But in the end, she was so tired. And just Halep was running to the drop shots, you see. And I think because it comes also from the mind. And she's physically strong, of course.
That's what we talk about so much more these days, Guy. It's mental as it is physical. You can have all the physical ability, but you need the mental side to match.
Well, that's what's so hard about the clay, and that's why Nadal has been so good in the last 13 years. Is not only is probably the most demanding surface in terms of physical ability, but you got to be patient. I mean, you have to wait for the right shot to set up the point. And sometimes some guys do it too early and do a lot of enforced errors, or they get passed. Or sometimes if you wait too long, then you're tired and you just miss the approach. So, I mean, the mental strength and the ability to choose the right shot to make a difference are crucial. And some ladies and some men are doing better than others.
Simona Halep came through 6-2 in the third set. It was 2 hours and 14 minutes on court. And here for you, Simona Halep speaking post-match.
It was really about the mental and also physical, for sure. But mental, I was strong. And after losing that set, when I came back, it was a little bit tough, but I stayed there. I stayed focused. I never gave up. So I think that's why I won today. My head won it.
And giving us a little bit more reaction to Simona's win is a lady that Guy mentioned at the start of the show, Virginia Rizzi. She's not just a former champion here, she's also the agent of Simona Halep.
Well, I hope it will go well, and I think this victory coming back from a set down should give her even more confidence. You need to play the best tennis towards the end of a Grand Slam. You need to go crescendo into this tournament. I think now she went crescendo indeed, and with every match she improved her game and confidence. So now we're going to have a match with two players at their best, and it's very equal. I think it's going to be 50-50. They haven't played in a long time. The last win was in Cincinnati for Muguruza. But I think Simona is up now to really be able to produce her best tennis.
And Camille, just to add a little bit more to that semi-final between Garbine Muguruza and Simona Halep, whoever wins will be world #1 on Monday.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure. They didn't need that, but actually there is. Now, actually, for me, it's going to depend on how Muguruza is going to be serving. Because Simona, we know what she's going to produce on court. She's super fit. She likes the pace of Muguruza. There's going to be a lot of rhythm, and she loves rhythm. So, but if Muguruza on 2 strokes, she can just put Halep away from the ball, it's going to be difficult. But she's not serving well. The little girl is going to run a lot and just being there.
That's exactly, what you want. The #1 spot, play in a major event, 2 wonderful champions with 2 different styles of play, like maybe at the time with the Agassi or the Sampras or the Nadal and the Federer or, Serena Williams against, a girl from the baseline. That's what you want. You have all the ingredients there. to produce a great match. So we all, thrilled and so excited we can't wait to watch that match.
Cannot wait for it.
And I just want to throw in that we've got a great All-American semifinal on the other side, Madison Keys and Sloane Stevens. I think we have a great women's semifinal overall to look forward to tomorrow.
Now, Guy, every night on Live at RG, we have a discussion. It's a little chat about a topic that's come up, and we've covered a few over the last 10 days. Tonight, though, it is, do you need to have a killer instinct to win multiple Grand Slams? Marin Cilic, how many times have people said to the US Open champion of 2014, you're too nice, you're never going to win loads of Grand Slam titles? How many people have said you're too nice to win? Do you believe in that those guys who are winning slam after slam have a ruthless streak and have to have one?
Well, I think it's a comment that a lot of time is wrongly used. I can give you 10 examples of wonderful people, male or female, which were actually, really mean on the court. I mean, Mats Wilander, who we gave tribute to today. I mean, Stefan Edberg, Bjorn Borg. I mean, Gustavo Kuerten. So many of those guys are wonderful. But once, and I had the chance, unfortunately, to play against those guys in the big events. Once they won the court, they wouldn't give you like 1 point, anything. They were so strong, and they wouldn't give up, from the first minute they stepped on the court until the second they left. So, and some others, of course, like Connors, McEnroe, or Rafa Nadal, is a lot more obvious. But, it's just what you have deep within yourself, and you're fair to your opponent, but just try to win a point after another. And you have, yes, although I don't like that word, to use that killer instinct deep inside of yourself.
You just have to have a ruthless side to you, Camille, that you're willing to bring out on court.
Yeah, for me, it's more having a nature to be competitive in everything. And you can be a nice person, but you just want to kill the opponent. No, but
it's very strong.
No, but it's actually for me. You don't have to be somebody unrespectful on court because you're gonna go and maybe get the opponent angry. I don't see the thing like that. But you need to beat somebody. It's but playing cards. It's this is deep inside yourself.
Are you very competitive in everything?
I am very competitive.
It's kind of coming through.
And she's nice.
But then I don't agree when you say, yeah, no, you don't have to be nice. I believe for me, Rafa Nadal, he won 10 French Open, and he's such a nice guy. On court, he's such a nice guy. He never says something to the opponent bad to make the battle start, No, he's very respectful, but he gives like 100% every point to win. So this is the difference for me.
A couple years ago at Indian Wells, we did a video feature with Rafa, and we went golfing, and it was so intense because he loves his golf, and he's very competitive. And I think he brings that competitive fire, as you're saying, to everything he does. And I also think Simona Halep saying that she felt the mental side worked for her today. Maybe that's really the only thing you can pick on from the Halep game. Last year, that lead against Ostapenko, she just let it slip, those tiny things. That's what a Grand Slam champion. Last night, Kim Clijsters talking about, I was called the nicest player on court, but she was the one that after 4 major finals losses, she came out and she won her last 4. You learn how to, as your career goes, learn how to build those wins.
It's almost like you have to flick a switch. And Kim Clijsters, she went 0-4, then she went 4-0 in Grand Slam finals. You have to suddenly learn how to bring that inner ruthlessness out of you on court, however nice you are.
Exactly, but to be honest, most of the players in that tournament, are that way. Some are deal with it better than others. And getting back to Simona, I think the hard part sometimes is just to deal with your emotions, because you want to win so hard, you want to give the best of yourself, that in a way sometimes you get a little bit tense because you want that trophy so much, and that's not the right way to play tennis. So you have always to find the right balance between being loose, being instinctive, but at the same time, have that tiger attitude. And only the best one can master these two skills, and the one have a lot of experience can play their best on a big day.
Someone we spoke to recently, he's the owner of 2 Grand Slam titles. He's definitely got a ruthless streak, is Marat Safin.
It's not about the forehand, backhand, how you move. It's about how you deal in the tough situations. And a lot of people, they're too much into the future or too much in the past, and they're never in the moment. And that's why they lose the moment. You don't have to show anything extra. Just be yourself and feel the moment. When you have the moment, you will feel the moment, and then you have a killer instinct, you will have it. And you need to know when to use it. You need to use it at the right time and the right spot. That's it. As simple as that.
Guy, I think I would have been a little bit terrified to be the other side of the net to Marat Safin.
A perfect example. Marat was the nicest guy ever, But once he stepped on the court, and a lot of times actually he was off, because he lost his concentration. He was somewhere else. But he said something that's really important. He said, don't think about the past, about the future. Just live the present. I mean, be in the moment. And you can really see that when you're on Chatrier court and you see all those champions, so focused and being able to master that trajectory and, guiding the ball within the lines, shot after shot. I mean, it's just incredible. And we're so lucky to witness that every day.
And that is just be yourself.
Yes.
In the moment. So if you need to shout or throw the racket at this moment, maybe you can do it. No,
She would never do that.
No,
She
you
would
never do
She
that.
was
No,
such-
no, actually, I didn't do that. But I really understand the moment. Be yourself. I'm not like that. I'm
Did
not
you
going
ever
to
do it?
pretend.
Did you
No, because I
throw your-
didn't need
any
it.
time?
Yeah.
Okay.
But as he said, maybe okay, this time I'm gonna feel like that and do this because it's gonna help me being better the next point. And this is important. Unless the clay is broken, when Djokovic he throw the racket, it's like no, poor Guy, the courts are gonna be broken.
But a lot of
So,
times, Andy Murray gets picked on or talked about how he's always brooding, and you can never tell, is he happy, is he furious, is he yelling at his box? But that is whatever mechanism that works for him that helps
then he
bring
plays
him
better.
out. Yeah, it brings out his best tennis.
And we've been saying about Novak Djokovic. Yes, I know he got very emotional yesterday, but we were happy to see, Guy, that fire come back, because for so long we were waiting to see that fire reignited within him, and flashes of him roaring or yelling from his towel or throwing his racket. You thought there is that desire and passion that you need.
Well, you're right. I mean, I've watched Novak in the last few weeks, and there were some really nice moments about his matches that I enjoyed, because he had that fire again, and not only he won a few good matches, but he was really upset with the way sometimes he handled some points. He was really unhappy with, and you could see it. He broke a racket once, but he did it in a way that was positive, like he wants to win the next point. And I think he's slowly getting back. I'm not too worried. I think he will get back to the top. I'm sure he would have liked to win that match against Cecchinato, because he felt he could beat a guy that ranking. But tennis is done in such a way that you have to prove every day that you're the best, and he's not at his best yet.
He's not, but he's getting there, and plenty of positives for him to take away from this tournament. We are going to check back in with Eli, because Eli, we haven't heard anything about the tennis for a while. What can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that the Singaporean weather outside is still holding out. It's damp, it's humid, and it's warm. And in the room behind me that you can see there, that's the situation room, a room that Guy knows very well. That's where decisions are made. And they just made a decision and announced that in any case, whatever happens, there will be no tennis before 7:30 p.m. So we will probably know more shortly. But for the moment, players are staying in the locker room, and the covers are staying on the court. I guess they're probably expecting a few more showers, and eventually another decision will be made. But for the moment, that's it. 7:30 p.m. minimum.
Okay, so Eli, do not move far from the situation room. I think that is the perfect place for you to be situated for the time being. Now, we were talking about Novak Djokovic losing to Marco Cecchinato, the Italian. He came into the competition at 72 in the world, and he came through in a stunning four-set victory with an incredible tiebreak that we brought little bits to you live on air here, live on RG. So we wanted to bring you a little bit more about the Italian sensation who's through to the semi-final, starting with the man himself.
Tough to say this moment for me, because I never won the match in Grand Slam. Now I will play the semi-final against Dominic Thiem, so it's amazing.
I think this thing can help him to believe more on his game, believe more on himself. So I think it will be nice to see what is the future of Marco.
Well, he was born in Sicily. He started to play tennis in Sicily. Marco Cecchinato used to be a very good player, one of the best young in Italy. In the middle of April, he was playing some challenger, and then everything has changed in Budapest. He has a lucky loser. He won the tournament, And from that day, something has changed in him, something clicked in him, and now he's in the semi-final. It's unbelievable for him, but for us as well, because nobody really expected it.
Now I think it's the time just to celebration, and we have 2 days, fortunately, to recovery. And for sure will be a nice match because Dominic is a champion, and Marco for sure give all 100% to beat him.
Guy, for a lot of people, Grand Slams are about those fairy tale stories. We had Marco Tringelletti, the lucky loser who drove from Barcelona to Paris with his grandma and mum packed in the back of the car to sign in and win and beat Bernard Tomic and then lose in the next round. Now we have Marco Cecchinato. The fairy tale's not finished. He's through to a Grand Slam semi-final.
It's wonderful, and what's great about those major tournaments is in the history, when you look back, you see some names, coming out of nowhere sometimes, and don't want to lack any respect because he's a wonderful player, and he's making a name for himself from now on, and probably will make even the top 10. Who knows? We got example of Michael Chang, of Gustavo Kuerten, of Alberto Berasategui, who got to the finals once, and many guys going to the finals, even won it. And when Mats Wilander won here, I think he was ranked probably 45 in the world. But the way he handled these matches against Goffin and now against Djokovic is just wonderful. And I tell you, the French are lucky he didn't play in the Italian squad in Davis Cup a few weeks ago, because probably the score would have been a little different.
And Guy was asked in his press conference about Dominic Thiem. He said, I faced him and I beat him, and there was a pause in a futures tournament a long time ago. See, he's got the win.
I know. That's what's so wonderful about our sport is you can be somewhere early in the season, and 6 months later, I mean, you're the same person. I mean, you play more or less the same, but you just picture yourself in a different way. You just believe that all of a sudden you can do things that were crazy, a few months before. And look at this guy. He beat Novak Djokovic on the Susan Langelen court in front of 10,000 people. I mean, just fell on the ground in front of his friend, his family. Look at him.
It's absolutely incredible.
Crying, actually.
Absolutely incredible.
We were
the
all
emotions.
crying.
And his coach said it's the only time in his life he's cried. I'm not sure if he's been married or had children, but he said it's the first time in his life he shed a tear. We're just going to pop back to Eli for an update. Eli, what can you tell us? Good news? No news?
No news. The only thing I can say is that the covers behind me are still solidly down on the court. I don't see anybody getting excited to prepare to take them off. I can also tell you that right now it's not raining, but I can't tell you that it's not going to start raining in a few seconds or in a few minutes. So unfortunately, I'm not much of great help aside from telling you that status quo.
Okay, so Eli, it's back to the Situation Room. You need to be by the Situation Room in case the situation
all night long,
changes. All night long, not leaving. So we don't have the order of play for you because we need to see what happens with these matches. It's women's semi-finals day tomorrow. We're really looking forward to that. And Guy, can we just say thank you so much for, I know it's such a busy time, for taking the time to join us this evening.
Thank you so much.
Merci, Guy.
Avec plaisir. Thank you.
And we'll be back with you tomorrow at 7 p.m. local time. Hashtag RG18 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with us. To know what happens this evening, keep an eye on the Twitter feed, on Instagram. You can go on the Facebook page. And to watch our show, it's the Facebook or YouTube pages. Keep getting in touch with us. It's been a pleasure to have your company, which we hope to have again at the same time tomorrow night. Bye for now.